So Juan Guaidó is out as the leader of Venezuela, but in fact, he was never in as the leader of Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro was always the leader of Venezuela, but the United States loves to do coups d'etats, and we had our guy, Juan Guaidó, pinned as the leader of Venezuela before we even pulled out the coup. But there is an update to this story, which is, 6-7 years in the making already, this specific story with Guaidó himself. Washington coy on Venezuela's Guaidó still recognizes the 2015 National Assembly. The United States still recognizes Venezuela's 2015 National Assembly after a recent shakeup and will continue coordinating with its former leader, Juan Guaidó, and other like-minded individuals, the White House said on Wednesday. Washington's years-long recognition of Guaidó as Venezuela's legitimate interim president was called into question late last month when the country's opposition's National Assembly stripped him of the title and dissolved his government. In a press call, White House and National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said the United States still recognized that assembly, elected in 2015, as Venezuela's, quote, last remaining democratic institution. Asked whether Washington still recognized Guaidó as interim president, Kirby said he did not want to, quote, get into hypotheticals, and promised the United States would coordinate with him and other like-minded members of the opposition legislature. Axios reported on Wednesday evening that a State Department official confirmed the United States no longer recognizes Guaidó as Venezuela's leader. The State Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The administration of former President Donald Trump recognized Guaidó as Venezuela's legitimate president after President Maduro won re-election in a 2018 vote that Washington and other Western governments called a sham. Maduro has maintained his grip on power, supported by the Venezuelan military as well as Russia, China, Cuba, and Iran. Let's reread this part. Nicolas Maduro won re-election in a 2018 vote. Next sentence. Maduro has maintained his grip on power, supported by the Venezuelan military as well as Russia, China, Cuba, and Iran. Maduro has maintained his grip on power, supported by violence and evil countries, right? That's what they're trying to say, and his election was a sham. Whether or not you think the election was the sham, whether or not he's supported by foreign governments, which he is, many nations on this planet are, almost all of them are, he maintains his grip on power. He maintains his office through the will of the people. There's a tremendous voting bloc that is pro-Maduro in Venezuela, and this article is just going to ignore that and say the election was a sham and he maintains his grip on power through violence and the support of other violent, bigger, larger nations. Think about that propaganda right there.
Juan Guaidó says he has the backing of Venezuela's military, and with it, the opposition leader has begun what he calls the final phase of a plan to overthrow Nicolas Maduro. For his part, Maduro says it's another coup attempt. His supporters standing guard outside the presidential palace.
In front of Miraflores, we will defend the country, the legacy of the late president, Hugo Chavez, and the only legitimate and legal president of Venezuela, our brother Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela is free, sovereign, and absolutely independent, and we will not bow to U.S. imperialism.
The interim government's dissolution raised questions about the future of assets in its control. Opposition lawmakers voted last week to appoint a commission to govern the assets. Another thing I should bring up. If Maduro was gripping to power through the military and all these other nefarious means and was such a brutal, violent dictator, why does he let Juan Guaidó walk around Venezuela for the past 7 years as a traitor, claiming himself to be president and, trying to amass rallies, and also has been connected to multiple coups d'etats against you? If he's such a dictator, why is he allowing an obvious puppet of the CIA to run around his country, causing all kinds of trouble? Kirby's comments echoed State Department spokesperson Ned Price, who on Tuesday left open the question of Guaidó's official designation. We'll continue to coordinate with him as a member of the 2015 National Assembly and with other like-minded democratic actors in Venezuela to support the Venezuelan people in their aspirations of democracy, rule of law, and prosperity in their country, Price told reporters. You guys think they were handed a memo from someone? How many times have we heard continue to coordinate with him and like-minded? It's been like 6 or 7 times in this article. This article is only like 4 paragraphs long at this point. Washington's position on the need for free and fair elections in Venezuela and on Maduro has not changed, Price said. So it looks like the CIA has abandoned poor little Juan Guaidó. You know, in a 2-minute read, we already broke down 3 or 4 pieces of propaganda in it. It's a ridiculous world out there, people. Please put on your critical thinking hats.
What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh?